What is up, hotties? Welcome back to another Stay Hot live stream on Blaiden Kirk. Joined today just by one of my favorite co-hosts of all time, Matthew Spawnhour. I know that Theo's traveling right now on vacation, so our running theories right now are either he forgot what time zone he's in, or he's on a plane. But regardless, Matt and I are here to answer some questions, talk some. Could be sports, could be movies, it could be whatever. It's a Stay Hot live stream. You know how it goes. But Matt, how are you doing on this beautiful Tuesday evening?
I'm doing too I'm doing all right. I just worked out and came back and now I'm doing this pretty standard day.
I just
Seems
worked
like
out.
the nice. Seems like the house is going to be done in the next couple of weeks, so that's good.
Isn't that what they
Um
said like 2 months ago?
yeah, but now it actually seems like it will be.
Okay. Okay.
Um
Happy for you.
yeah, I don't know. I don't have too much going on to be completely honest.
That's okay. You don't have to always have something going on. Just like to ask how you're doing.
I gotcha.
Matt, what narrative is Big Turf pushing next?
I have no
It's the
idea.
real
I
question.
believe they've gone into hiding since my expose, but
Facts. Pat
um
McAfee was their final boss.
it's so funny. McAfee was like literally not even like saying it was the fact they used a grass field. That wasn't the point he was making at all. I took it totally out of context for the sake of that video. And I'm not
Yeah.
that sorry. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. It was funny. Blaiden, we need more
Matt, did
song.
LaMelo injure himself on purpose to get Wembanyama?
What?
Uh yes, I think so.
Is that the running theory?
That's the running theory. The running theory is that the Hornets are just cursed, man. Jesus.
Yeah, Theo was in the group too. He was like, you remember when you said they were going to get 50 wins?
They could have too if things had gone right this season, literally at all. They had a winning record last year.
They
I
did.
stand I stand by that. People forget that though, that they
You
were
don't
actually
you
pretty
don't
good
forget
last
that.
year. I don't. It was fun
Man, why do you hate La La Land?
because it's not that good. I mean, I thought that they were if the whole point of the movie was like, well, their dreams are keeping them apart and that's what they do. It's like, okay, but I feel like it was kind of shoehorned in, especially towards the end. It's like she quits, but then she's gone anyway. The second that she quits and just goes home, they're going to be in different places all the time. So they're going to break up regardless. But then he goes and gets her to do this audition, and then they break up before they even know if she has the audition, which keeps them apart. Like it just doesn't make sense. And then I don't know. I didn't think the chemistry was that great.
People really didn't like Theo's take on what was it, Ari Aster? Is that the director's name?
Yeah, I've like literally never seen any of his movies, so I
That's what
can't
I'm
say.
saying, bro.
But if it's true, I don't really like horror movies. I think that's the worst genre in movies by a pretty wide margin, in my opinion.
You're right. You're right.
I had people getting mad because I made a video defending Spy Kids. I had people getting mad at me in the comments. Cry more. If you're still mad about La La Land, you're the type of guy who hates Anthony Fantano because of some like 10-year-old review. Grow up. Get over it, I say. Who should the Hornets draft if they don't get the number one overall pick? Totally depends on where they're picking. But I would say best player available no matter what for a
Yeah.
team this bad that high in the draft.
Do
Do
you
you like
like
Goodfellas, Matt? I
Goodfellas?
haven't seen it. I've
Yeah, I
seen
haven't
bits and
seen it
pieces of
either.
it. Seems pretty good.
Do y'all think there's a chance that Trevor Lawrence wins MVP next year? I mean, we could do that for like every top 10 quarterback in the league. Just be like, oh, well, there's a chance that Herbert wins MVP, and there's a chance that Burrow or Allen or Trevor Lawrence or Hurts or Dak or Kyler, like any of those guys could win MVP. But if you had to put money on it, who are you putting money on it to win MVP? Let's be real here. It's Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know. It depends on what Lawrence's odds are. They'll probably be too good for me to really want to bet that.
Mahomes is the only one that's like relative. None of them are safe, but Mahomes is as close to safe as you can get, I feel like.
Yeah. Do you guys watch Young Sheldon? No, we don't watch Young Sheldon.
Young Sheldon comes up on my TikTok all the time.
Oh, I love Young Sheldon.
It is kind of funny just to watch this like child just like know so much more than his elders. I think that's a good bit. Putting my money on Jerome Ford. You know ball, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. There's not much going on in the world. I know that Kevin Durant comes back against the Suns,
Yes. That'll
or
be
against the
exciting.
Hornets tomorrow or today. So that'll be funny. I hope Terry Rozier cooks them. But
Yeah.
who's the first quarterback off the board? I think Stroud. I think it'll end up being Stroud. I think the Bryce Young size concerns are very legit.
They are legit. I could see it being Stroud. But I think it depends also who has the first pick. The Bears we know are shopping it, right? That is confirmed at this point. So, as far as who's going to make that trade to get up to number one, if it's the Colts, I don't actually. I have no idea. I have no idea who each of those teams would take. Um, the Panthers are for sure taking Levis. That's a guarantee. Um,
I don't think so.
you don't
No,
think you're getting Anthony Richardson?
could be.
Yeah,
I don't see why it couldn't be possible.
it's just you know what would you not want the actually let me what would you want the who would you want the Panthers to have?
Uh, Richardson or Stroud.
Well, then that's not going to happen.
It's gonna happen. Panthers
Hang
don't
on.
always not do what I want. They've just been bad with Rule and Tepper.
I guess that's fair. We'll see. Maybe they will do what you want this year. Maybe.
And they
Where's the
shot the
energy?
Bears. Sorry guys, I'm just tired today.
It's
I
a
don't have any. There's not
tired
much going
spawn.
on, and we don't have everybody here.
Where's your poem? Where's your poem, Matt?
Right.
I was saying
Um,
I could read from my math textbook. You guys want to hear some like abstract algebra theories?
Panthers will just sign Derek Carr. I bet you they don't do that. They could sign Wentz as a bridge. I think that's possible, and it's going to be some big uproar when they do about it being like, oh well, look, they're just doing it again. But I think they're going to draft somebody. I feel pretty confident about it.
As long as they don't like pays like a guy like Wentz a fuck ton of money, right?
They're not
That's
going to.
hmm?
They're not going to.
Yeah. I would feel pretty confident that like Wentz at this point has fallen out of the major quarterback contract tier. Um oh, did you see the interview with the Bucks GM? And he was
No,
like they asked him had Brady stayed retired last year, would they have felt confident going into the season with Trask? And he was like, "Oh, absolutely. We drafted him second in the second round for a reason." Um, and the way they were talking, it feels like he could end up starting for them week one this year.
I I mean, what else would he say?
That's the other thing, right? And
I
I
think
think
that's not news.
it's not
Would you have been
news.
comfortable going into him with him as a starter? Nope. Like it's just not.
Yeah,
No GM is going to say that.
right. You can't say that. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like you didn't have to elaborate.
Maybe.
That's the only other side of it I could see. But
Wait. So who, Matt? Who is your quarterback 1 and 2? I don't even know at this point. I think I really like Richardson. I like Stroud a good amount. Um, I like Bryce Young despite the size, and Levis' pocket presence makes me too nervous to probably draft him. That's where I stand right now.
I think that's fair. I still kind of lean Bryce as the top guy, even though he's a little small. If you're good at football, you're good at football. The guys that
Yeah, I'm.
concern me size wise might be like the receivers. I know Zay Flowers put on some weight. Um, he just put on like 15 pounds or something. But then there's like Nathaniel Dell, who I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if anyone in the comments knows why they call Nathaniel Dell Tank, because he's tiny. So I don't know where that nickname stems from, but
Couldn't tell you.
he's itty bitty. He's super quick. Like I don't know if I've seen him like have to make a contested catch yet, because he's just always open.
Yeah, that's not
Um,
really his game. He's very good.
but he is itty bitty. Theo got transported into an Ari Aster movie and was killed. That's crazy, dog.
What's up with all the negativity on Richardson? I mean, he wasn't a guy who put up a bunch of stats in college, and there's people who are just against the idea of betting on traits. I think it'd be wrong um, to have that mindset, but that's where people are coming from. How many picks would you be fine with the Panthers giving it for the Bears first if they do trade up? Anything past 2 seconds or two firsts, I'm starting to get a little bit sick to my stomach. I'd be willing to give up a pretty decent amount of capital for the sake of like or from this season because I really don't think this draft is that good.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know if I'm the Bears, I'm looking to trade down to like 4 with the Colts so I can still get one of those top guys because after that I think it gets pretty weak.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I mean, let me pull up the order.
At least in my opinion. Thoughts on Joe Milton? I like Joe Milton. I made a video about Joe Milton one time. I thought he was pretty good. I think it's very easy to succeed in the Tennessee offense, but he's got an arm. He can move. If Hendon Hooker got hype, I don't see why he can't. Only difference is that he really stunk for Michigan, so Michigan fans really hate him. So he's kind of going into it with a little bit more of a negative like um attitude around him. But if he plays well next year, people won't care.
Yeah. Yeah, Hendon Hooker did get some crazy hype. Um, let's see. So the Panthers are at 9 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would probably need to get into the top 4 at the very least.
That's not what I meant. I meant if I'm the Bears, I want to move down and but still like at 4.
Oh, the Bears moved down to 4.
I don't think we need to get into the top 4.
You don't think
People of
Colts,
mm-hmm,
Texans.
mm-hmm.
You don't think Seattle and Detroit are are going to not, take an option if
No, I don't think
there's a
Detroit's
guy
going to
there?
take a quarterback.
I wouldn't be shocked to see them do it.
Yeah, I mean, this is I think all how many drafts are it where it actually goes quarterback, 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 quarterback?
I guess that's true, right?
It's very few.
Hmm.
I don't know. If I'd like them to move up, but I don't want to give up like 3 first-round draft picks to do it. We'll
Right.
see though. I'd be fine with the trade up though over not taking a guy.
If you can't get a quarterback, what do you want them to do?
I don't even care at that point. They need a quarterback.
You're giving up?
I mean, yeah, they need a quarterback. It's that simple. Who do you
Carolina
think they should get
Panthers
at
trade
9?
up to the I get, I guess you could maybe take like a corner
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad move.
cuz who do you have right now outside of Horn?
Nobody.
Is it like hold on, let me
It's Dante Jackson and
Oh, okay.
CJ Henderson, who neither of which are very
Yeah.
good.
Panthers trade up to the first pick and draft Tanner McKee. No, they're drafting Jake Hayner. That's
Possible. Who knows?
Mixon for sure getting cut. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he's one of the worst running backs to get paid that big second contract in a minute. To be completely honest with you, he's never really been that great in my opinion.
He's
And with the money
solid,
problems that would,
but
yeah, but
like,
why are you paying him $12 million to be solid?
right, right. He's making more money than Nick Chubb, I think. So,
Yup. So yeah, he's gonna get cut. Max Duggan, unfortunately, I like him. He's not a real prospect.
killed our chances of getting Max Duggan on the show, man.
We were right there too.
So close. Bijan to the Bengals will feed families. I
I think
mean,
that I think that'd kind of be a waste of assets. It
if
could. It'd be
just
cool.
don't, I mean, don't do it in the first round, but sure.
Who do you think will be the biggest bust out of this draft? I don't know.
I
I
mean,
don't know if
it's
there's
hard.
anybody
It's
where
hard
I'm
to
like that guy's gonna
say.
be a
It's
bust
like
for sure.
you would have to. There would have to be a player that everyone is high on that you think sucks. That like teams are high on that you think sucks.
Yeah, to some extent.
Like,
Josh Allen better than Joe Burrow? I don't know. I think that's a close one. I think Burrow kind of gets a pass for a lot of his bad games. He also has a lot better weapons.
yeah, I mean, barring the Dolphins, probably has the best weapons in football.
Yeah.
Maybe
Quentin
throw the
Johnson, that's not a bad
Eagles
one.
in
I don't
there.
like Quentin Johnson.
Yeah,
Really don't think I don't love Addison either. I think he's fine, but I wouldn't feel that great about it. I agree with Theo. I don't think this is a very good draft class.
yeah. My thought is like, there's a couple good tackles, right? Harrison's good. Skoronski's good. Um, Paris Johnson's an athlete. Um, whether or not he will end up being a good tackle, yet to be seen. Um, the receivers are subpar. JSN's the best one, but he's not. It's like Garrett Wilson was the best last year, and it's like if you needed a receiver of any shape, in any way, shape, or form, you take Garrett Wilson because he can do everything. There isn't a receiver like that this year. There isn't a Justin Jefferson, a Jamar Chase. There's guys. There's buckets, right? We have a bunch of guys in buckets. We have a Keenan Allen archetype with JSN. We have a We have this like speed. We have a few like tiny speedsters with like Zay Flowers and Nathaniel Dell and oh, who's the other? There's another one too that's not really all that big. Maybe they're. I guess Addison's not very big either. Um, Downs isn't. Downs is only 175 and he's like 5'10". Um, if you can get one of those guys in like this, if you can get like Flowers or Addison or Dell in the second, I think that's good value.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think Addison falls to the second though.
I don't think Flowers does either.
Mm-mm.
I was hoping he did in that one mock that we did. I was like, oh shit, because Anton Harrison fell to 21. I'm like, there is no way, because people were taking like that one guard, and like the interior offensive linemen are not much to call home about. So to
I
see
haven't
people,
watched them much.
it's just there's not like a Linderbaum, right? Or trying to think who else who was
Zion Johnson.
Zion Johnson. Yeah, there's just like there's no one like that this year. Um, trying to think who else. The edge, it's like Will Anderson, um, Tyree Wilson's pretty good. That dude is long as shit. um, Andre Carter's not terrible. He's just freakishly huge. He's 6'7", 260. He might weigh. He looks bigger than 260, so he might actually weigh in more than that. But he doesn't really have any skills as an. He's just kind of like big and raw, but like again, second, maybe third round, or probably not even second, third round, it would be a pretty good guy to get. Um, Theo always talks about rare body types. It's not a total bad idea to have.
Bills
Uh,
can't. If the Bills take another running back, it's over. I mean, there's no reason for them to go do that. They just spent a bunch of money on Cook, and a running back just does not fix that much for them. I'm afraid. They need another real receiver, and that might just not be there for them. Or they need to invest in the
who do
offensive
they
line, but
pick?
that's easier said than done when you're kind of spent like they are. You're just
Yeah, they're picking at 28.
you just probably run it back for the most part and hope things break a little bit better for you.
Yeah, yeah. Taking a running back would be unserious.
Yeah, I kind of feel that. Is Bijan worth a first? I would say probably not.
No, he's not fast enough. There's
Uh,
like a here's if you were to take a running back, I thought about this when I was doing the Chargers too. Is like there's a running back out of I think it's UAB. Hold on.
Bills
Um,
trade down and get 4 third-round picks and pray.
yeah,
Hey,
Dwayne McBride. That might be the workhorse back. That dude had like 320 touches this past season, and it was averaging. I think he was averaging over 5 yards attempt. Let me pull it up again.
I'd hope so. 5 yards an attempt is nothing in college.
I just can't remember what because there was some guys that were averaging like 7.
Yeah,
Oh,
every
he was one of
draftable
them.
running back is averaging 5 yards a carry. Bad running backs are averaging 5 yards a carry. Like for instance,
Who's
Travion
the guy that
Henderson.
got? Who was the guy that got? like 300 touches. There was a guy that had like 320 touches, and I was like, this guy is getting crazy workloads. But maybe that's like, well, too much tread off the tires. But
Workload doesn't really move me.
I will say, Dwayne McBride, I do know that that dude has a lot of power. And you could say like UAB not playing anybody. Powerful guy and averaged 6.7 last year, 7.4 this year, had over 1,700 yards and 19 touchdowns.
No, I
So
like that guy from Pitt. What's his name?
Pitt,
Yeah, go look at the
oh,
Pitt running back prospect. He's sick. He's not like a second round guy or anything, but he's fast as hell. Does anybody know who I'm talking about in the chat?
I was it Israel Abanikanda? I don't know how you
I don't think
pronounce
that's how you
that.
pronounce that, but yeah, I agree.
I
Yes,
definitely butchered this
that is the
name.
guy. He's sweet. Go watch him. Jacoby Brissett is
Minnesota's
going to be some bridge quarterback is going to be, and that's going to happen before they potentially draft a quarterback. And it's going to be so annoying on social media.
yeah. Minnesota's running back I had some hope for, but he doesn't seem to have as much burst as he did before he got injured. So I don't know. But also, that's what they said about Nick Chubb. They were like, Nick Chubb lost his second gear, and then he came into the NFL and immediately got it back. So,
His knee injury was legit, but he didn't totally lose his second gear. Rico knows got to get on the pod. Yeah, I don't know, man. That guy's a
what?
jerk. That guy
Who?
was a jerk to Nico. I saw in one of his comments. You don't
Who are
mind?
you talking about?
Just some guy on TikTok.
Rico knows?
Mm-hmm. That guy's a jerk.
Tough.
Um,
Yeah, we don't like jerks.
Jets quarterback prediction probably Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know. I'm making a video of my quarterback prediction for every team, but um, Rodgers is a possibility. But like, dude, are they ever actually going to make that trade? I guess now it would really make sense, but I feel like you would have heard more rumblings about it by now if it was actually
Yeah.
going to happen.
You would think. I think Garoppolo makes the most sense. I guess Derek Carr is an option too, but
Yeah, I could go with Derek Carr.
they just need someone serious, like literally anyone. They've been dealing with like Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, and Mike White. It's like the most unserious quarterback room I've seen in a long time. And I'm a Browns fan. Talk about Ritter time. Mariota's out of the picture.
Well, he was out of the picture regardless. He was. I mean, he got benched.
That's true, but Ritter's all alone. So unless they have direct intent to replace him, which I guess isn't totally infeasible considering we only have what 4 games to go off of, and it's like you're gonna
Definitely
trust a
possible.
third round quarterback. But
Rico knows would flame Matt for his OSU takes. My OSU takes are money though.
have they ever not hit?
Um, we don't care, so sadly.
Blaiden, top 10 co-hosts. Well, Matt and Theo are top 2.
I'd hope.
it,
Outside of that, it gets a little fuzzy.
it does get a little bit fuzzy, right? It's like, do I can throw Bangle in that mix? I think Bengals got to be up
Or
there.
are guests considered co-hosts?
I think so.
I don't think so.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
I
well,
guess they're not co-hosts. Maybe okay. Maybe that's mean. I don't know.
well, I'm just saying. Well, then there's no one else, right?
Right.
It's just like you two are in the top two, but you're also in the top four, and then in the top six, and then in the top eight, and then in the top eight, and then in the top 10.
Any bad faith LeBron arguments? Not any that I've cooked up recently, but I'm always thinking. Most bad faith LeBron arguments are born out of a bad faith Michael Jordan argument I see, and then just flipping that.
Is that what they're saying?
Who do you guys think the Giants should draft? Receiver. Any of them. Get Zay
Yeah.
Flowers or JSN or even Addison. I think you can make it work. Somebody who has add a little bit to that offense.
Yeah, they just need some juice in that receiving room. Maybe they trade for D Hop. That's a possibility.
Yeah, it is.
Would they have to give up? I don't think they'd have to give up their first rounder for it.
For DeAndre Hopkins?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You could probably honestly give up a third. So get like JSN, D Hop. All of a sudden, you have a real receiving core of guys that. Well, maybe you don't go JS like if the offense has been based around just like easy routes that are like easy concept for receivers to get open in, and they're already doing that, then what is the point in getting a receiver that's just good at getting open? Right? I don't know.
I
Maybe
guess. I
that's
know I see where you're coming from. Kind of zoned out for a second, but I see where you're coming from. I don't think that's the craziest thing in the world.
so maybe
I'd like
maybe
I
if
agree.
Zay
It's like
Flowers.
JSN is great. I'd like to see them get somebody who has some juice because you feel like you can scheme guys open. That makes total sense.
Right. So maybe Flowers,
Addison. That guy from Maryland was really that's way later. But
bro, I swear there is always like an ambulance and a fire truck, like always, like once a day. It's Oxford. Like
oh,
the population
what
of
are you
this
guys
town.
getting up to?
The population of this town's like less than
You
40,000.
hear it in Cincinnati, dude. There's a siren like literally every single record when I'm in Cincinnati, and that's partially because I'm like sitting on a hill above the city.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I'm just like, bro, there's nothing like, what are y'all like? How does this happen? It's a Tuesday. Like,
what does it being a Tuesday have to do with a fire truck being out, Blaiden? How can you have a fire
well,
on Tuesday?
it's the ambulance too. It's the ambulance, right?
No,
So I'm
accidents
like,
can happen any day.
I guess.
What do you mean you guess? I suppose you could get hurt on a Tuesday. Not me though. I don't understand.
The only things that happen on this campus is people drink, and
Right.
that's it. That's it. You know this.
Yeah.
What else is there to do here?
I don't know if all the ambulances are drinking things though. I would find that pretty unlikely.
There's at least 2 ambulances uptown every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah, that's not super surprising.
Like every time Zach and I will go to Skipper's, and almost every single time there's someone getting like carted off, or like they're getting picked up for like alcohol poisoning or something. It's just like, I'm like, it's a Tuesday. Like on a Tuesday, it's 6 p.m.
I don't know.
Bladen on that anti-first responder wave. Nah, that's not. That's not what it is.
The Bulls owner refused to go into the tax. I don't blame him. The team stinks. I don't blame him, dog. The team is not nearly good enough. They're changing the way the luxury tax works in the new CBA. It's going to be cheaper for teams, and it's good for smaller market teams. The first, like, you know how you go into the luxury tax and it becomes more and more expensive the more you go up until
Yeah.
it gets to a point where nobody can afford it. They're making it like the first few tiers, like you're just barely over cheaper, and then more of the top tiers more expensive. So
Okay.
maybe teams will be more willing to go into the luxury tax because it'll be less expensive and it'll stop teams from going way, way over, which is interesting. And I like that because um, you're already seeing teams get too expensive to the point where they have to. I mean, like the Warriors, for example. Warriors would be like favorites to repeat if the luxury tax didn't exist or if it wasn't as bad as it was, but they had to like, get rid of the entire bench.
Yeah.
If the Bears pursue DeAndre Hopkins, what do you think they'd have to give up? We just did a mock draft on this website thing with a bunch of other people, and I got him for a third rounder, and I was the
Yeah.
Bears. So one third rounder. This is the guarantee.
You kind of cooked up with the Bears.
I did
did you
okay.
make a single actual draft pick?
I made two. I
Oh,
got
you
that
drafted
Felix
Carter.
guy from Kansas State, and I got Jalen Carter. I traded. If anybody wants to know, I was the Bears, and like 1 minute before the draft, I was like, "Oh shoot, I need to trade the pick." So I moved down to 4, and got like a second, 2/3, and Kenny Moore, and then I picked Jalen Carter anyway, and then I got Brandon Cooks for a third, and I got DeAndre Hopkins for a third, and it was sweet.
Oh, that is sweet.
It's a tough year for the Bears. I mean, it just depends on how much you like these other receivers. But I don't the Claypool trade is so bad, man. It's aged so bad. Yeah, that Bears trade was just a disaster. So I to me, you've gotta sit here and be like, that was not a good move. We can't go into the season pretending that Claypool is like our guy and we're going to start him.
Yeah. Would be not a good idea. They need some real receivers there. The same talk we have about the Giants. Need some real goddamn receivers. Can't be
Mooney's okay though.
Mooney's
You're not
okay.
starting from literally nothing. Mooney is actually pretty good if he was not your receiver one. If like for instance, if the scenario that I did happened in real life and all of a sudden Mooney was wide receiver 3,
Yeah.
it'd be pretty strong. It'd be pretty good. So
Yeah, but
I
right now
really
it's
don't
like
like Jalen
Equinemius
Hyatt.
St. Brown.
I really, really don't like Jalen Hyatt. I think
That's
that he
the
played in a really good
Tennessee guy?
offense. Yeah, I think he played in a really good offense and he's fast. But even if you go look at scouting reports, I think a lot of times they struggle to find what he's particularly good at outside of go routes and things like that.
Yeah, it's you need more than you need a little bit more of a
I mean,
bag.
I get it. I get it. I get taking a risk on that type of guy, but um, for me, I don't know. I don't think he has a very complete game. He is fast. Yeah, I think he played in the slot a lot, and he I don't know how much he beat press, and I don't know how complete his route tree is, and he's not really a contested catch guy, which is fine. I mean, um, so a blow it up situation will not happen with Chicago Bulls. So yeah, I really think trading DeRozan, paying a first to get off DeRozan, like a lottery protected first to get off DeRozan, and then trying to sign someone in free agency is totally possible. And I kind of, as far as not blowing it up and making that decision, I think it'd be kind of interesting still.
What would it cost for T. Higgins? That's I completely forgot that like he could get traded too. Um,
A first.
really?
Yeah. Yeah. Depends on where it is. It's
I
kind of,
guess I'm just thinking like you're gonna have to pay him, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm. What were you gonna say?
I guess I was just gonna say a second, which I
A
guess
second
isn't
round pick
much
for T.
crazy.
Higgins? No way.
Yeah, second round pick, and you have to pay him
Yeah, no way. But you said DeAndre Hopkins would be a first.
a third.
Well, you were talking about you don't know if the Giants would have to get their first to get DeAndre Hopkins just
No,
a
I
second
don't think
ago.
they would.
No shot. T. Higgins goes for his second. That'd be lunacy for the
You think
Bengals
so?
part
AJ, okay, so AJ Brown went for a first.
and a third, right?
AJ Brown's better than T Higgins.
Yeah. As if he were traded this offseason right now, he'd go for a first and a third. He'd be by far the best possible tight end you could get. A mid first in this draft and a third, I'm doing it in a heartbeat. And all the teams that need wide receivers the most
I
have
guess
all
that.
this money. They
I
would
guess
have.
from the perspective of like, I need a receiver. I'll pay whatever it takes to get one. The Browns need to trade for D Hop. The Browns' weapons aren't that bad. The Browns' defense stinks. They need to fix that.
They have no money.
They do also have no money.
I also do think T. Higgins just won't be moved.
I think if you're the Bengals, you want to keep that like big three together. Probably the guys that are Bates is so gone. There's no way. I don't think there's any way he's back this year. Bell might come back. Um, they should maybe they can try and keep Jermaine Pratt. But as far as guys that like, I'm trying to think. I mean, really, they're not even like. It's like if they just had like a Woozier healthy, we'd probably be talking about like a
They're a pretty
completely different
complete team,
scenario.
to be
Yeah,
honest
they're like
with you.
fine as they are. It's not like they need to do a bunch of shit. It's the
They're
problem is just going to be like, what do you do when you finally have to pay Burrow, right? That's what it's going to come down to.
well, you just don't pay positions that aren't very valuable, and you try to replace them in the draft as they come up. I
Yeah,
think it's that simple. It's really too bad. I think the Bengals could be so good if their owner had more money. I'm not saying that's necessarily his fault, but he
no,
just can't afford to be as aggressive as other teams.
bro, just called
Because if they
the Bengals owner broke. That's
yeah,
crazy.
as far as sports owners go, like dude, yeah, I mean it's a huge problem for Cincinnati. Um, and I would assume that Cincinnati is the smallest city outside of like Green Bay to have uh, an NFL team. I would guess that's true by far.
Um, Smallest city,
Yeah. I mean, the
I
population of Cincinnati
guess.
is like, and you never know exactly what they're counting as Cincinnati or not, but like, population of Cincinnati is probably like 300,000-400,000. They've been going down for the last 50 years, up until a couple decades ago, and it's coming back now. But a long time Cincinnati was doing bad, but I like it. I like it. It's Brown should join the SEC. Yeah, it
Brown should join the SEC.
they should join the SEC and play like 3 FCS teams a year. It'd be awesome.
Get paid or pay $1 million to play FCS Northeast and just dominate them.
Cincy would never get a team today. No, they would not. Nope. If you were picking 32 cities, Cincinnati has more people in it than LA. Be real. There's literally no shot that's true, other than maybe what they're counting as like LA versus is the 26th smallest? I'd love to hear what's smaller. I wonder where they would pick if they could completely do it all over, what they would select.
Is like the cities to have teams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'd
Probably be
have.
pretty similar.
I promise you, we'd have 4 teams in LA.
We'd we'd ha- we'd
We'd have
have the
4 teams in
NFC
LA.
and then 16 LA teams. Yeah.
We'd have 4 teams in LA, 2 teams in Vegas, 4 teams in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Probably 2 or 3 teams in Miami.
Orlando would get one. Yeah. Columbus would
Orlando
get one.
Orlando would get one.
Outside of the joke. Yeah, Columbus would have a team. Um, it's really too bad Columbus doesn't have any sports teams outside of the Blue Jackets, which is like the worst North American sports team. Um,
They would put a team in Canada.
Shout out the Clippers though. Clippers are pretty fun to watch. I should have worn my Clippers hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
They
Columbus
absolutely would put a
Clippers.
team in Canada. I
They
think they
could.
would.
I
I
mean,
think
Toronto would definitely be up there.
yeah.
No shot.
Um
The LA doesn't care about the NFL like that, and yet they've got 2 teams: Cleveland, Columbus, and Toledo. Yeah, I agree.
I think Cleveland might still get a team.
Possible.
I mean, we do have like the Pro Football Hall of Fame is in Canton. Like it's kind of close. I still think they'd give Cleveland a team. I do.
Some of the teams you just listed, I could believe maybe have a smaller market, but to be completely, there's no way New Orleans is not a bigger city than Cincinnati. That is impossible.
Yeah, I had a friend that just went to Mardi Gras, and he said it was like the most insane event he's ever been to. It's like literally batshit crazy. Like the streets are
I'd like to go to
packed
Mardi Gras
for. He said the streets
sometime.
were packed for like 3 days.
When is Mardi Gras?
It was like
I don't even know.
last
Yeah, but I know it
weekend.
was recently.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Maybe that's on the bucket list.
Stay hot Mardi Gras trip. When
Yeah, I don't
next
know.
we'll
Blue Wire
just
sending us down there.
yeah, when's Blue Wire sending us to
Actually,
Mardi Gras?
actually, something hilarious I saw yesterday. If you look up how much the average Blue Wire employee makes, it said Google will tell you it's $3.4 million, which I can confirm is not the case. Or I'm getting ripped off really badly. One of the two.
One of the two. Oh man. Just ask. I mean, average, is it like
And so with
is
the
it
low end being 3 million and the high end being 3.8 million.
the low end?
The low end being $3 million a year. I actually am kind of interested what the hell happened to Theo.
Yeah, I like haven't heard from him all day. And I know that he's like he was traveling and he's like getting to Florida, but
He probably just fucked up his sleep schedule real bad. He texted us at 6 a.m.
did he?
Mm-hmm. He was definitely not up at 6. He was still
No,
up.
he said he had a flight to catch early in the
Right.
morning.
He had a red eye. Got messed up on the time zones. That's the prediction here.
That's the prediction.
Stay out as part of the 1%. Yeah.
We're the
Wait till
we're
we
the
get Warren
coastal
Buffett
elites.
on here, buddy.
We're part of the 0.001%. Blaiden's FanDuel contract is triple his Blue Wire contract. That isn't. I don't even know if I'm allowed to disclose. I'm almost certain I have like an NDA.
I'm not. Look, my point was not to tell people how much we got paid. I'm just saying the average. I mean, because like Blue Wire is like it's like a normal company, man. They're not paying the average person $3.4 million. I don't think any company pays their average employee $3.4 million.
Not a single one. The average CEO might make $3.4 million.
I wonder how much the average CEO gets in a Fortune. I could probably Google that too.
You probably can. The average CEO of a Fortune 500 company.
Give me the Alaskan. You know what? That's what's more fun about 2K is that you can move your team anywhere in 2K. You can go to Alaska if you want to. What game should I gamble on?
The Blubber Nuggets.
What game should we gamble on?
Cavs. Kings.
The Cavs play tonight.
Do they? I don't know.
I never
I
know
was
who's
just I
playing.
was just saying the Cavs or the
Oh,
Kings.
there's a lot of games tonight. Um,
Yeah, I'll put we'll put some money on something together. Let's
okay.
well, everyone open your everyone open your FanDuel Sportsbook
Never take
app.
my. I don't ever want the pressure of being one of those people who does. How many games in a row has Milwaukee won? Oh my God! I knew they were on a streak. I didn't know it was this good. I think Milwaukee may win the finals again. I really do.
Not crazy.
They're both an incredibly complete team, and they have the best player in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah,
They're the Are they or the Celtics favorites?
I will check. NBA Finals. The Celtics are the favorites.
I don't know. You say you like Raptors -5? That's a terrible bet.
For some reason, I maybe am I not logged in? Oh, okay. I was like, why can I not bet on the odds for the finals?
I don't know. I'm looking on ESPN right now. It says the Kings are -2 to beat the Thunder, who don't have SGA. If that's true,
The Kings are,
that can't be
yeah,
true.
minus 2.5.
I don't know. I think if there's no SGA tonight, right? Am I making that up?
I don't know. I would take that though. The Kings are, I mean, they've been crushing dudes, haven't they?
They're pretty good.
Didn't they just score like a
Someone
hundred?
must be out for the Kings. I don't know about. What's their injury?
All right,
And they
let's
won
look at
the
that.
other night. Yeah, I'm taking the
Probably
Kings.
because they had like the highest scoring game ever.
They beat the Kings. Yeah, I'm taking. All right, that's my Fox is out. Okay, there you go.
Oh, Fox is out.
There you go.
What?
I kind of still like the Kings, so but
No, it
then
says he's day
that'll
to
be it.
day. It says he's day to day.
He's probably out. They're just not going to play him.
I
14
guess
and
that's fair.
man, San Antonio sucks ass. I don't know, guys. I have no good bets tonight. Dame to get 15 points at -25,000.
Let's look at these parlay builders.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I didn't eat after I worked out, and I'm kind of starving. And it's been about an hour,
Oh, has
and
it been an hour?
I'm nervous to give betting advice. Do you want to call it?
He said I'm nervous to give betting
I
advice.
did say that, and I mean it.
Yeah, we can call. I have to eat dinner too, and I have to pick up Sophia from work here soon. But that pretty much wraps things up for us on another Stay Hot live stream. We'll check in on Theo, make sure he's okay. We'll make sure he sends out a tweet so that you all know that he's alive and well. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and as always, from Corn Boy, Lemon Boy, and hopefully Bird Boy, we will catch you all on the flippity flop.